Hey everybody, it's Rhonda. And this morning in my community, I gave a prompt to create a ransom letter alphabet like the one you see in front of you. Okay. And what I want to do today is show you in Affinity Studios how you can take images like this, ones that contain multiple elements, and break them down into individual images. Now, it doesn't have to just be like this alphabet. You could do it with things like clip art bundles. If you have a prompt that will create an entire bundle of clip art on a single page in a single image, you can use this to break them apart as well. Okay. So I'm just going to jump into Affinity. And here is the image that I created this morning, this ransom letter alphabet. And what I want to do is turn this into individual images so I can sell this as like a PNG set of these letters in my Etsy shop, or even use these letters for other designs I may want to do later. So I have an artboard here with the image on it, and I want to create a new artboard. So I'm in my own custom studio here, and I have the artboard tool right here. If you are in Pixel and you don't see the artboard tool anywhere, just come down here to the bottom and the three dots, click it. And right at the top in here, you'll see it says artboard tool. And you can just drag that right over and put it here so you have it. So I'm going to click on the artboard tool, and I'm just going to click this little plus button right here, and it'll put my new artboard right next to the one I'm working on. And then I'll go back, just hit V on my keyboard to take me back to the move tool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out just a little, and I'm going to move these up. So I have my artboard one here. This is where my image is. So I have my image selected, and I'm going to come to the right or the left. I'm so sorry. The left. And I'm going to grab my rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to make sure it's set to the rectangular. And I'm going to come over and I'm just going to select this A. That's it. Hit Control C on my keyboard. And then I'm going to come over here to Artboard 2, make sure I have it selected, and paste that A in. Okay, now here's where you have a couple options, and I'm going to tell you what I prefer. In fact, I am going to hold Alt and drag. I'm going to duplicate this A so I can show you two different things, two different ways you can do this now. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to hold in my Shift key and enlarge these so you can see them a little better. And you see, as I'm making them bigger, they're becoming more and more pixelated, right? So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to come up here to Pixel. No, I'm going to come into Canva AI. I'm sorry. And over here on your left menu, you're going to see Super Resolution Tool. Okay. And I'm going to click that. And that is going to upscale my image here. Right. And it's going to take a second to do it because it takes a few minutes, to upscale sometimes. So we are going to let that do its thing. And now I'm going to slide this over, and you see the difference it's made. It does the inside A really well, but we still have soft edges on the outside. Okay. So we're going to hit apply. And this is our upscaled version. I'm still not a fan of it. So this one, instead of upscaling, this one I'm going to select. I'm going to come up to Vector, and I'm going to select Image Trace. And you see how it sharpened everything up. I converted this to a vector. Now everything is super sharp, and there are no fuzzy edges. Okay, so I recommend vectorizing each one. I want to select everything in here and make this bigger. And now you can play around with it. You have all your different curves here. We can add some effects here. We can add a shadow if we wanted, and offset. We can do that. So you can, see a little bit of a shadow here underneath our A, right? We could do that. We can now, because these are all individual, we can take our background here, let's say our curve here, and we could add a style to it. We can do so much with it now, all right? We're not limited to just keeping it exactly the way it was. You know, we could do different things here. We can come over here. We can ungroup, first of all. That's what we need to do. And we can now, you know, we could fill this with a pattern if we wanted to. We could do a lot of different things. Let's come back over here to my personal studio so I get all my options here. There's styles in here that we can apply to the background if we want. You know, there's a lot of different stuff we can do. So you have a lot more control over your image after you vectorize it. Okay, now I'm just gonna take it back to where it was originally and just let it go like that. I'm gonna select everything, right click, and I'm gonna group it. All right, and then I'm gonna make it as big as I can to fit on my artboard. And once I'm happy with the way it looks, then I'm just gonna come up here to the upper right corner, click on Export PNG, and save that as my A. All right, and there it is. My letter A is all ready to go. It is 6,000 by 6,000 and 300 DPI. So it is ready to be used. So now what I can do is I'm going to delete that and we'll come back to Artboard 1 again. Select our main image, Marquee tool, select our B, Control C. Then we'll come over here and select Artboard 2, Control V, and again, can size this up, vector, image trace, and apply. And now you can get rid of, you know, if you don't like these shadows or whatever in here, I'm gonna ungroup this so we can get rid of any of these little bits and bobs that you may not want. And now that looks good. And now I can take my background and I could do styles. I can come over here if I want to my vector flood fill tool, and I can look for, you know, different backgrounds I might want to use and fill that with something completely different. So let's say I want to give this one like a wood background. Okay. Now that has like a wood or a leather. This is leather. And I gave that one there. And let's come back over here. Do the same thing with these. And I can make this bigger and make this bigger. So you can do a lot more. You have a lot more control over the image itself. We can add the outer shadow like we did, not bevel. I just want to do a drop shadow here, you know, and we can change it up. And you can do different effects in there. You could put an outline on it if you wanted, like that. You could bevel it. You know, there's just a lot of different options you can do now. You can play with it and change it around all you want. Now, I did not, you know, I have to, let me do this. Select this one. Let's do this. There we go. We joined these, like we removed those cutouts that were in the middle here. So now you just see the background. You can make your B bigger on here if you wanted. So you can do a lot of different stuff. And even with your B, you could still come over here, vector flood fill, or even styles. You could make the B different. You can change the style. It's completely up to you. So when you vectorize, you give yourself a lot more options too. If there's anything you didn't like about a letter, you can change it up. But I'm just going to get rid of that. And I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to select that. And I'm going to do the B again and just, you know, keep it the way it is. So Control C, come over here, Control V, and let's make this bigger. And once again, vector, image trace, apply, and we can ungroup and get rid of these little pieces that we don't want, or if you don't mind them, you can leave them there. And then I'm just going to select everything and I'm going to group it together, and I'm going to make my B bigger. And now I'm going to export that, save that as my B, and there it is in there. And we're just going to repeat this process over and over until we have all of our letters separated. Like I said, all that extra stuff, that's completely up to you. But when you vectorize it, it's not just giving you crisper, you're not just getting crisper images, you are getting a lot more options. Okay, so again, vector, image trace, and just that quickly. We have this nice, crisp, clean, select it all, right click, group it together when you're done doing any edits you might want to do, export, and we're going to call this one C, obviously. And now that's exported and we have our letter C. And again, you know, we are at 300 by 300 or 300 DPI and it is ready to use. So you just repeat this process over and over until your entire alphabet is done. Paste that in, make it bigger, vector, image trace, and it's good to go. And like I said, now if you want to add styles, you could do that. So let's come over here to the layers, make sure we have, first of all, let's take our D and the inside layer here in the middle, and let's get rid of that center part. So let me, hold on, ungroup. So CRD is completely separate. And you only have to do that if you want to do some editing. You know, I can turn my D a little more wonky on here if I wanted to. If I don't like exactly how it was set up, I can grab my background here and let's give it just like a little bit of a texture or, you know, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of different things we could do. The like leopard print background on this one, and then maybe change the D to a lighter color, you know, maybe like a white or pink, or even, let's go over here, a mint, bright blue, whatever you wanted to do. And then we can add a shadow to it. We wanted, we can add an outline to it. That, change the color, you know, you can just do whatever you want with it now that it is vectorized. You know, I definitely recommend doing the vectorizing. It just makes all the difference in what you can and cannot do with your letters once you have them separated. You know, this D here with the leopard background started out with just a plain yellow. And so there's a lot you can change. Do tie-dye here. Now, these are just some of my styles. You know, you won't have the same ones. Here's a torn denim that I have, just this chalk. How about this one with the rainbow? And then I would make my letter black. But once you have it the way you want it, group it all together, enlarge it till it fits your artboard, and then export D. And there's your letter D, all ready to be used in a project. So now, in fact, let's do that. Let's make another artboard and let me move it over and just show you, you know, now if we wanted to, we can use these if we wanted to create a new design. We bring it in and it's nice and big and you just put them wherever you want them for your new design. And I just, you know, obviously we just did A, B, C, D. We didn't do any particular word, but now they, you know, just all fit together and you just put them in here as you want them on a completely new design. You could put blocks under here, you know, whatever you're trying to draw out or write out, you would just bring in your individual letters, align them the way you want to, and then you have your ransom letter design. Okay. So that's how you break this stuff down from, you know, one big image to individual images. And like I said, the choice is yours, whether you want to upscale or you want to vectorize. But I suggest vectorizing because you have a lot more control over your end product. And if you don't want to vectorize, it's no big deal. Just upscale it and be done with it, you know. And sometimes when you vectorize, you know, you get these little wonky bits and bobs, you know, because of just the way the image was, but that's okay because like I said, you can get rid of them and that gives you like rougher edges, or you can, let's go back. Okay, let's move the E off by itself just for a second. And then you could take all of these, you could take everything here. Let's come in here, just grab everything in there, and you can weld that into one shape and it just turns everything, the same color. So that is an easy fix too. If you vectorize and you have all those, funky different colors because of, maybe various shadows and stuff when the AI generated your image. But let's come in here. You could do 3D, make these appear, three-dimensional on your background. Heck, you can make your background appear three-dimensional if you wanted to. So like I said, it's completely up to you. There's so many different things you can do when you vectorize it instead of just upscaling it. So there's that, we change that to the leopard, and if you don't want it, you just get rid of it. Just, click into a color, get rid of the style you had. Select this, let's try this one, now it looks like foil and it has like an outline on it. Again, it's personal preference what you do, but there's a lot of different options when you vectorize. Okay. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Let me know. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. Make sure you take a second to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my newer videos. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.